Content strategy is not always about producing content only. Mainly, it's about the alignment with the broader business goal. With the use of AI or other technology, we can cut down the production cost of content. A smaller company, if you have a good idea and you can execute it tomorrow and see it on your social media.
Today, we're exploring the art of high-impact storytelling. How does a brand cut through the noise to achieve engagement rates that outperform competitors many times its size?
Consistency is the biggest thing. It's a long-term game. It's a long-term investment. If you're committed to that, do this and do it properly.
Hi everyone, this is Maheen and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. Today we're exploring the art of high-impact storytelling in an industry often seen as traditional. In the complex world of commercial insurance, how does a brand cut through the noise to achieve engagement rates that outperform competitors many times its size? Joining us to discuss this is Moninder S, Walia, the Digital Marketing Manager at Wilson & Beck Insurance Alberta. Moninder has over 20 years of experience across print and digital media, from building platforms with 10 million monthly viewers to producing unmistakable brand narratives in the insurance world. Without further ado, let's dive in. Moninder, we're very pleased to have you on the show today. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, and thanks for having me.
Now, Moninder, let's begin our conversation by really understanding the strategy across different business models. You've worked with massive media outlets and specialized boutique brands. And one thing is clear from what we know about you, that content strategy is never one size fits all. Please tell us, how does a content strategy shape business outcomes in different ways across different businesses?
A great question, Maheen. First of all, I would like to say that a content strategy is not always about producing content only. Mainly, it's about the alignment with the broader business goals. Like as a digital marketer, one need to understand what his company's broader business goals are, what is the business model, and then aligning the content with that goal, with that vision, is the real content strategy. And to answer your question, I'll give you two examples, like how different content strategy impact bring about different business outcomes. So in my previous role as a founder of Transport TV back in India, so we created a YouTube channel. It was basically a trucking news channel. And the channel went so big, like at one point of time, we used to have 10 million unique visitors every month.
Wow.
And so it was a trust at scale. We become a industry's voice. So what we did after that to build upon that is we started selling products to our viewers. It was a new kind of experiment, and we sold them trucking insurance.
Okay.
And 100%, I want to tell you that 100% revenue of our insurance vertical was coming from our YouTube channel. 100%. We were not spending a single penny on any other channel or marketing channel. So that is an example of content impacting the revenue 100%, direct impact of content on revenue. So now let's come to Wilson & Beck Insurance Alberta, where I work as a digital marketing manager. So here the strategy is different because the geography, the industry is different, and it's much more regulated. The product is more complex. So the content strategy is different too. So here the strategy is to use content strategically to have high visibility, to establish our advisory authority, and to show the human side of the brokerage. And this thing leads to higher brand recall and long-term relationship. So this approach also impacts the revenue in terms of long-term relationships, in terms of higher engagement, in terms of higher retention and referrals. But the impact is more indirect rather than direct. So to answer your question, so it depends upon industry to industry. It depends upon company to company. It depends upon business model to business model, how your content strategy will impact the business outcomes. And here we are talking only about the owned content, not the paid content yet. So it depends on a lot of things.
Got it. No, that's such a brilliant insight, Moninder. And it shows that while the tools of digital marketing stay the same, the strategic intent must be surgically tailored to the industry. Now let's turn our focus to how deep industry expertise becomes a true competitive advantage. Like, how does it become like that? Moninder, how important is industry specific knowledge to a digital marketer, and how has understanding the insurance world helped you outperform much larger competitors?
So, Maheen, I think as a digital marketer, the industry knowledge is the most important thing for me. Probably I was an entrepreneur throughout my life, but I believe that until you understand your business, until you understand how your company makes money, what's your business model, what are your product lines, and apart from the company, you should have a knowledge about your industry as well. The macro trends in industry. Is it a soft market? Is it a hard market? This is very much important for a digital marketer to design his content strategy. I would go one step further, that if as a marketer you understand your client's business as well, that will be real fruitful and helpful. Like, what I want to say is that if I know the clients of my business and what are their pain points, especially in regard to my product, where they are underserved, what do they want from a brokerage in our context. So that helps me design a better content strategy and better content for them. And these are the precise things which help us at Wilson and Beck Alberta to beat much larger companies, even 20x, 50x of her size. I think this was the key, to understand the nuances of the business and and to translate those insights into your content and content strategy.
Absolutely. Now, this is proof that depth of knowledge is the ultimate shortcut to building the trust and the authority in such a crowded marketplace. Next up, Moninder, let's shift our attention to using AI to scale content without really losing brand voice. How do you see AI shaping content creation, and where does it fall short?
AI is the biggest buzzword these days, be it any industry, and especially in the digital marketing sphere. So I won't speculate about AI, what will happen tomorrow or what will happen after 5 years or 10 years. I think till the time AGI or ASI comes in, the things will stay more or less same. So if we talk about today, what I would see is that as a digital marketer, don't outsource your innovation, your creativity, your nuance to AI. What I want to say is that you can't outsource your strategy to AI. AI comes in execution. As a human, you have to decide, you know much better about your business, about the intricacies, and about the complexities, better than AI, I would say, as of today. So you should take charge of strategy and use AI in the execution part. For definitely, AI's arrival has increased the efficiencies in content creation. It has cut down the costs. It has increased the speed of content creation for sure. And we should use as much AI as possible, AI tools in content creation. But again, like as a warning, I would say there is a tendency for some digital marketers or for small companies to kind of go too much into the templates. Like, create a template and create a similar content, 30, 50 items similar, and just post it on social media or wherever. So I in my personal experience, that doesn't work. That puts off your audience. So you should know the limit in which you need to use the AI. I just want to say, to answer this question at the end, don't outsource everything. Don't outsource the strategy. Just use AI in the execution part. And there it can definitely play a good role.
Absolutely. And this is such a vital reminder that AI, it can give you the structure, but it cannot provide you the soul or the authentic human connection that really drives that loyalty. Because if you are tired of your marketing feeling like generic noise, then please learn from this conversation that we had with Moninder S about how to turn your expertise into a storytelling powerhouse. You don't need $1 million budget to win. You only need a clear voice and a strategy that prioritizes engagement over just being loud. Now let's get back to the interview. Now we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back to discuss how smaller teams can leverage speed and agility to outperform the competition.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's dive into how smaller teams can really punch above their weight when it comes to engagement, even when facing off against the giants of the industry. Now, Melinda, let's look at how smaller teams leverage speed and agility to really outpace larger competitors. Tell us what allows smaller teams to punch above their weight or on engagement compared to industry giants?
A very interesting question indeed, actually. So, first of all, it's possible. You can, as a SME, you can compete with the giants. I would say my mantra is, I would say 4 things. First of all is use technology to cut your production cost. So there used to be a time when only big corporate houses, used to create a great content because they used to have a huge resources, and smaller companies couldn't do that. But today, with the use of AI or other things, other technology, we can cut down the production cost of content. So that's the first thing. You need to think like an entrepreneur. And the second point is speed. There, I think smaller companies have an edge over the larger companies. In a larger company, you may have 5 levels of approval for a content. But in a smaller company, if you have a good idea and you can execute it tomorrow, and day after you can you can see it on your social media. So speed is the thing where you can beat the larger companies as an SME. And the third thing is the human face. When the companies grow so big, sometimes your content doesn't relate with the audience. People can't relate with that kind of content. It's become so larger than life. But as a smaller company, you can show your human face as well. Your content can relate with the audience. That's very, very important.
Right.
And last, I would say, is the focus. With larger companies, the problem is that they have so wide product range, so many products, and they try to cater to everybody. So in a smaller company, you generally have a fewer products in comparison to larger companies. So you can focus much better on a certain set of customers. You can cater to according to their taste, according to their problems. So that helps vis-a-vis larger companies. I think in our experience, at least, these 4 things really helped us in getting a much higher engagement. So if you look at our engagement, it's equal or higher than companies even who are 50x or 100x of our in terms of revenue. So that is doable. That is doable if we like these 4 things work for us at least.
That agility is quite a superpower, Moninder, and it confirms that authenticity and speed will beat a slow-moving, massive budget every single time. Finally, let's take our conversation and move it to translating complex expertise into clear, compelling messaging. Moninder, how do you enable teams and subject matter experts to turn complex ideas into clear, effective content?
That's very interesting. Actually, as a digital marketer, you need to sit with your domain experts as a team. Everybody should know what you're trying to do. And you're right, actually, like a domain expert would know everything under the sun about their domain, like let's say it's insurance or anything. So the idea is to break down those complex subjects and topics into smaller topics which a layman can understand. So if I am an insurance expert, but my audience, my potential customer is not an insurance person. He may be a restaurant owner or a roofer, anybody. So I have to talk in their language. So first of all, here expertise of a digital marketing manager comes in. Your format of your programs, you put it out there, be it a video or a graphic, that should be such that your customer can understand, a layman can understand. So that is the key. I would say in our case, so our attitude is to basically, so our motto is we care, we help. So so we try to imbibe that thing in our content production as well. So our attitude is client focused for sure, but idea is to help our client. How every bit of content we create helps our audience. Are we adding value to them? So that attitude itself helps, to create such formats. They're which are helpful and which add value. And we don't try to put too much of knowledge. We don't try to show that we are so knowledgeable. The idea is to help the client, help the audience, add value to them. So I think that strategy works.
Absolutely. And that translator role that you're playing when in there, it is essential, right? It ensures that your company's brilliance, it isn't hidden behind the industry jargon that is out there. This was a great conversation, really. In such a short amount of time, you were able to share such great expertise and your insights with us. As we're wrapping up now, if there's one core message that you want listeners to remember about really standing out in a digital-first world this year, what would it be?
So my message, Maheen, will be like, first of all, what we need to be successful as an SME, what I've seen in industry is that where most of the businesses lack is the commitment, first of all. Everybody wants to do social media, but most of the times companies forget to put as much resources as are needed. So first of all, commitment is very much important. One need to understand as an owner of the business that it's a very vital, important business function. Right. It's not just that, it's not a hobby kind of thing, right? That everybody has to be social media, just create a page and just put out anything, Christmas, New Year wishes, that's it. No, so you need a long-term commitment. The first thing is the commitment, right? And the second thing is a strategy, a good content strategy, that what exactly is a goal, for whom we are creating this content. As I mentioned earlier, like, is it a B2B business? Is it a B2C business? And what are goals? Like, is it a brand building? Is it a lead generation? What exactly you want to do? So second thing is strategy. And the third thing is differentiation. There is so much, it's a cluttered space. Social media is a cluttered space and people don't have time. People are scrolling like this. So how does your content differentiate from others, especially your competitors? Why would anybody watch your content? So that is very important. There you need to sit and discuss and plan, how to differentiate. And fourth, I think the most important is consistency. Keep doing it. Like, if you're doing one piece a day or one piece a week or bi-weekly, doesn't matter, but it has to be consistent. You just can't give you 100% 3 months and then suddenly you're off and then you again start building it, so consistency, I think, is the biggest thing. These are the four things. And the last, I would say, one should understand as a SME owner or a business owner that it's a long-term game.
Right.
It's a long-term investment. If you're committed to that, do this and do it properly. Otherwise, don't do it.
Well, that was a very powerful and actionable message to end on. That is to be unmistakable, right? And thank you so much for sharing such a great pieces of advice, your tools and resources, and thank you for sharing your wisdom in such a short amount of time with our listeners. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And that was an insightful conversation with Moninder S. Walia, the Digital Marketing Manager at Wilson & Beck Insurance Services. This was a practical and a valuable conversation for every SME that is listening to us today. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. Please be sure to subscribe for more expert insights. Visit our website, CanadianSME.ca, for valuable resources. A special shout out to our partners, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google, for their ongoing commitment to empowering small businesses in Canada. Until next time, please keep thriving, and we'll see you in the next one.